Hey everyone, how are you? Um, Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. This is going to be a collective reading for the sign of Aries. So Aries, I hope you're doing fantastic. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. It has been a while since I've gotten a video out for Aries, and I apologize for that. You know, the holidays and things took over. It was a little wild and crazy for a bit, but now we're back to normal. So this is going to be for Aries, your sun, your moon, your rising, and Venus cross watchers, if that is your thing. Discern the messages accordingly. You know, make sure that you're not forcing things to fit. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. I appreciate each and every single one of you. So we're going to get this one out. Hopefully a few others today. We'll see what happens. I got some, it's my day off. I'm going to try to get some things accomplished and get some stuff out to you guys. So we'll see what happens and how the uploading speeds are working today for YouTube, right? So I hope you guys are doing well. I am available for personal readings, and that information can be found in the description box below, as well as the about section of the page too. So I guess we're just gonna jump right into it, right? Okay. All right, Aries, let's see. What do I want to do? I feel like I'm missing cards or something. I don't know why. We'll see what comes up. We'll go from there. Oh, I feel off balance today for some reason. With ask anybody who knows me, like I'm constantly losing my keys, my phone. Like I'm always like missing a piece of something constantly. I don't know what that's about, but anyhow. So this morning I feel like I'm missing a deck of cards for some reason. All right, Spirit for Aries. What does Aries mean? Let's see, guys. Aries. You guys are making some forward movement. I like what I see because it feels good. It feels like you're kind of pushing ahead. The Spirit's saying the new year is being good to you. So I like the way that feels balanced. What else for Aries, please, Spirit? Make sure that in absence, perception. You guys may be in a space of missing something. It's interesting. Like I feel like there's a lot of forward momentum. I feel like there's a lot of things shifting in a positive direction for you. There's a lot of energy that's pushing you to pursue goals. So you're taking that, and it's kind of like you're dealing with the contrast of it. So it's like for everything that feels good, you're trying not to feel too good, but yet it's like you remember what it is to be in lack. So with that, it's also as if you're trying to balance out a good feeling and a negative feeling, so that it's not, you're not feeling super high, because I feel like there's a whole lot of energy. Like all of a sudden, as I started shuffling the cards, this burst of energy come through me, and it was like, woo, you know, so I was like, boy, this is good, right? But then you're also trying to remember, it's like you're trying to remember what it is to not have. So it's kind of like trying to even out the emotional aspects of the self, and understanding the world around you for what it truly is. You've got motion, balance, absence, and perception. So it's as if like you're hanging on to something new. You're grasping on to new Spirit's calling them ventures. So that's cool. Like that's a good thing. Like, you know, stepping outside of the comfort zone, getting into things that maybe you haven't attempted to do in the past, or just starting new beginnings and doing things differently than again you have in you know, years prior or the past, or however you want to word it. But it's also reminding you that there's all these different avenues of life that you've encountered that you felt like something was not quite locked in, I guess would be the way to say that. A spirit comes in and try to put it into like human words, I guess we could call them. I feel like the heart space though is longing for connection. The heart space is kind of like, it's there, but it's like, it's almost like tunnel vision would be the best way to put that, I believe. So it's kind of like you're following your passionate pursuits, you're following those things, but it also feels like as that is radiating outward, there's something internally that is not funneling through the best way, or it's missing a piece of something there. So that's interesting to me. I have dug out the animal spirit cards, Kim Cran's. It's a super cool deck. Her artwork is amazing. I've always loved her stuff. So let's see, we're gonna get you an animal spirit card, get some other things, see what's up. You know, you're transforming some energies that it's kind of like with the good and the bad, the contrast of having and not having. You're changing the way that you bring it together, the way you bring it into balance, which is nice. You're having to have a different view of how you're doing this. So, okay. Spirit is also saying don't get caught up in the absence of the things that you may be missing at this time as well. So pay attention to that. Aries. That's too many. Nothing wants to come out of this deck for you guys. Dragonfly, and it's funny. The lizard. Okay, let's flip this. So I want to show you, let's talk about that transformative energy, right? You see there's that the dragonfly right there, right? And what card of how many cards that are in that deck, the dragonfly comes out again. Again, transforming some energy, taking a more fluid approach to things. Shark. And then you've got the shark. You know, the shark in itself is, you're dealing with a lot of water too, which is interesting. The shark in itself can be, you know, when we think about the shark, he's vicious and he's going to chew our leg off. I don't think that this is a space of viciousness as much as it is this aggressive, there we go. I'm just going to make up words today. This aggressive desire to get things that are meant for you. And again, I'm going to show you this. You take a look at her face in there. She's very well pointed to going forward. Shark's face is kind of something very similar to me. They kind of resemble each other in the direction that they're going. You know, it's talking about how to move forward, right? It's going after the things that you desire. It's making movement. You know, sharks, they flow in the movement. They are very calm, but also quick in temperament. So also be careful that you're not, I'm going to say, snapping out at people as well during this time. Some frustrations may be lingering. I don't know why that's coming in that way as well, but it is. You know, they also dive, you know, to the darkest parts of the ocean. They see their way through the darkest aspects of things. But Spirit is saying well pointed. So what that means for each of you, discern, you may know, but it's a well pointed direction as to which you're headed. So we'll see. We'll see what comes up here. You're definitely changing. There's that confidence. Yeah, confidence. You may be taming some inner demons too. You're trying to, this is very much like, again, I'm feeling that excitement and then I'm feeling the walls that you've had in the past. And it's learning how to settle those and to be calmer with what it is that you're dealing with. For some of you, it's like a resemblance of the past that you're learning, you're remembering the lessons that you're taking forward with you, as to not repeat, you know, cycles and things. So it's kind of like navigating new waters to get somewhere new. Again, I talked about that love a little bit ago, like that love, that heart space center. We've got forbidden comes out on top of absence, and what sits underneath there? Love. I feel like your world entirely, excuse me, has shifted, transformed, and changed. So where you may be looking at work and business and life in general, all those kinds of things, the one key element that I feel is missing here is almost like, it's almost like a need for someone to share that with, a need for someone to open your heart space to, a need for to just be sharing of that, is everything else seems to be falling into place around you, but this one aspect. So for those of you that are already in, we'll call it a relationship, you may feel as if there's something that's amiss with what you're dealing with at this time. For others of you, I also feel like, you may not have a partner in this life. So it's kind of like examining your options to decide what you think is going to work for you. For some of you, you may have been dealing with the coming and goings of certain people in your life as well. And it's like you're trying to get there. You may be stopping yourself from getting to that point with somebody, or vice versa. So it's requiring you to understand how you push past that barrier. You're at the 9 there. You're almost to a cycle of completion of understanding this so that you can move forward in a positive direction when it comes to your loving situations or people that you're sharing, your situations with, the foundations of what you've built for yourself. So, all right, let's see. Spirit for Aries. Oh, just because of the way that one popped out, I'm going to take it. Page of Cups, offers of love, 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands. Like I said, almost there. Almost there. It's been a struggle to get to where you are, but you're working your way through to your 10 of Pentacles. Page of Cups is an emotional offer. Page of Cups is loving and wish fulfillment and trying to get there. Someone coming in. Spirit is also saying that for some of you, you're feeling like the offers that are coming in are like minuscule. They just don't quite match. So I would say if you are single, or not in partnership, it's a committed partnership, you may feel like that you're kind of being given peanuts at the end of the day. You have released some toxic cycles, and recognizing, it's like if you've been running, I can't talk, goddamn Mercury retrograde. If you've been offered certain things, like it's recognizing that you're not going to sit in a space of being breadcrumb for the rest of your life. So if you've had relationships and situationships that have been less than fulfilling, you recognize that these are the things, these patterns, these behaviors, these situations, even when it comes to friendship and business and stuff, if you're getting breadcrumbed, you're not going to stick around for that. So it's kind of like, is there anybody out there? Is there anything out there for me that is not going to breadcrumb me for the rest of my life? That's going to be, give me a solid, stable offer moving forward. You've got the Ace of Pentacles and the King of Cups there. Following that, the Tower. Aries, there you are. The Tower in reverse. There may be, there we go, sorry. That popped out in the reverse, but we'll leave it there. For some of you, you may be holding up an idea, and the way this fell, it came out in the reverse. Sometimes I read them, sometimes I don't. Depends on how I feel about it. But then when I tried to pick it up, it turned upright. So the message to me here, you've got the Hermit, which is Pisces energy, the Tower, Aries, that is you, Scorpio as well, the Devil, Capricorn energy, King of Cups, Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer as well. So you may be dealing with one of those signs, doesn't mean that you are. And then you've got the High Priestess underneath, haha. So with that, I talked earlier about the wisdom, like the things that you're taking forward, like you've learned those lessons and you're taking those forward with you, where you've been breadcrumbed, you understand what it is that you've dealt with in the past, people that are offering you very little in return, and you're constantly being the one that holds things together, or trying to hold things together for the sake of another, or even for yourself. You've got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Things that just don't come to fruition. Three of Pentacles in reverse. Spirit is saying play nice with others. I feel like you're taking a more, a more abrasive approach to how you handle things. But I also feel like it's boundaries. I do. I don't think that it's so much as you being aggressive like that shark, but as it is that you're not going to put up with things. And for some of you, you may be finding that people are, they're not sure how to take you. because you've admitted these boundaries and said, you know, this is how this is going to be moving forward. And so for some people, like, you just, you see this and you're just like, I'm not willing to work with you at this time. Also, and yeah, six of Swords and Nine of Pentacles, I can do fine on my own. Your 10 of Cups. Let's see, you've got, okay, underlying the Sun, the Strength. Got Leo energy twice there. The 10 of Cups, the Moon, Cancer energy, and then the 9 of Pentacles. Whatever this situation is, when I talked about that 9 of Wands and that 9 of the Forbidden, you are absolutely getting to a place where this cycle of not seeing fruitful relationships is going to come to a head, where it's no longer going to be that way, where things are going to switch, things are going to shift, because you're no longer playing with these low-lying energies. You're no longer dealing with, or refusing to deal with, not even just not dealing with it, you're refusing to deal with things that do not feel like they're going to have forward progress. If they're not coming in with strong offers of who they're going to be in your life, or they're not going to take wholeheartedly who you are and what it is that you desire, you're no longer sitting in this. You're moving away from this. It's like anything, anything that was anything less than perfectly, I'm going to call it, nothing's perfect, right? Perfectly imperfect aspects of life, where it's just like, we're not doing this anymore. You can take your shit, you can get up and you can go, you can just, you know, be on your way, because anything less than the best is not going to cut it this time. So, you know, it's, you know, and for some of you, you may even be coming to a realization that the way that you pictured things, it doesn't have to be that way. It's almost kind of a little bit of a letdown that maybe who you're dealing with, or the people that are coming into your life, aren't quite the way you pictured that they would be. So you may even be dealing with some emotional situations, in the sense that it's like, do I stay in this or do I go? Because this isn't quite the way I pictured it. Remember that expectation brings us a lot of heartbreak in the end, when we have a desire of how we think things are supposed to work and they don't come to culmination that way. We feel like it's not right, or we didn't get what we asked for. You know, I've heard it so many times in different readings over the years. Your soulmate, and I have the deck of cards too, I don't have them here, but your soulmate may differ than what you thought, or something to that effect. And it can be. We have this expectation, or this idea of what people are supposed to be in our lives, how they're supposed to look and address themselves and all these other things. And when they come in and they're not those things, it's like, well, that's not quite what I asked for. You're meant to learn something from that, always a learning process, right? So I keep feeling as if, though, as you're finding this balance, you're turning away from a lot of things. If it's not complete, like, you're looking for something that's extremely solid in the offer that they're making to you. And I feel like you're getting itty bitty bits and pieces. Oh, I'm okay, and I'm stable, and I've got a few things, and, you know, I've got a nice car, but I live with mom. Like, it's always as if one thing is off, or a couple things are off, as opposed to what it is that you want. But and I think for a very long time, you were in a space of acceptance of, like, this is all I'm ever gonna get. But it's like you're finally understanding and releasing these things that aren't serving you, that they're like, I hate to use the word toxic, you know, toxic and narcissist, Mercury retrograde, oh my God. These things, they just don't work for you. It sounds so, like, my brain just, like, went blank, like, Spirit's just like, hold on a second here. Spirit's also saying to wipe the slate clean, like, no more of this energy for you. What I do like about this is you've only got 3 major arcanas on the board. So this is going to shift, and you may be in a space too where you're finding that you're feeling differently day to day about what is transpiring in your world. The Page of Cups, Spirit. So yeah, the Fool. for as much as the Fool is about taking chances and being carefree and stepping into something, you're taking the carefree approach and moving forward, but you're also, again, not taking risks that aren't calculated to your benefit anymore either. It's almost like you're really thinking about what it is that this past cycle has brought you, of no longer holding up foundations that don't work, but in the same breath, you're tying an expectation to hold up those foundations. It's funny because it's like you're letting go of it, but you're not quite out of it yet. Again, excuse me, that Nine of Wands energy, you're almost there. You've almost completed it. And they're not really giving me right now what it is that you need to do moving forward. So we'll pull some cards on that. You have found an inner strength. You have found an inner truth to your new beginning, to your new understanding, your new way of life, that anything less than the best is not going to fly. It's getting clarity about the decision in the direction you're headed. You know, with this Fool card, the shark, and that, I think it was motion, right? Yeah, motion. They're all headed in a whole new way of doing things. And I do think that's beautiful, but it's almost like you're not giving a lot of thought to it. You're just going with it, which I think is a beautiful thing as well, because if you're sitting in it and tying an expectation to it, you can be let down in the future as well. So it's funny because it's like you're almost at the end of closing those expectations out. You're almost at the end of closing all these different things out, but it's like you're teetering. It's hard to try to explain how this is coming through to me. You're almost out of the past entirely. The past is the door is almost closed on it. So just give yourself time and space to navigate the feelings of what feels good, what you've missed, or what you feel like you've missed. I don't think that you've missed anything per se, because what was meant for you was always going to come to you regardless, but understanding that it's not necessarily missed opportunity anymore, as you were in a state of lack because you were playing small. You were allowing people around you to give you less than what you deserved. And I think there's a very strong recognition of that, which is a great thing. Ten of Swords in reverse. You've got to make that final push. Like there's this final push, because there we go, the Wheel of Fortune. Do not live in the past of what could have been. And that's kind of, I think some of it is for some of you, if this is a romantic situation, it's like the what could have beens from time to time. Yeah, what could have been. So you feel some regret, you feel some loss, you feel like your cups are empty, you feel like, you know, you're sorrowful or regretful for certain things, but also ask yourself, if it did not work through this journey that you've experienced, what did you learn as a result of being in the state of lack or being emotionally empty? Because if nothing else, you've learned what it is to feel that way and what it is that you're never going to do again. So just make sure you're not getting caught in that cycle. And I do feel like there's times like these new beginnings are coming in, a lot of fiery, passionate energy, and to the outside world, you may look like you've got your shit together. And not saying that you don't, Aries, but it's also as if internally there's this little void that just says, I need more. I need a little bit more. I need to feel that passionate energy towards something that I can connect with. And that's where you're getting caught up and you're not sure what direction to take that in. The Death cards. So I was just going to say, you may be dealing with a Scorpio, and I don't know why that comes through. You may have Scorpio placements in your chart, and the Death card comes out. Looking at that King of Cups, that is the card of Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces, and then here comes the Death card. That Son of Pentacles. You may be coming into contact with somebody, again, could be Scorpio energy sticks out to me very heavily here, where they too have been abandoned. They have too been left feeling without. They may have also been in, you know, it's almost like they can completely understand where it is you're coming from because they too have been there. I'm gonna say to you, and I've got the chills. Oh goodness. It's like always confirmation from my guides, like, hey, you got it right. Son of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and what's underneath there? The Mother of Pentacles. first off, if this is a financial situation for any of you where you're investing your time, your energy, and your effort, it's going to be fruitful. It is going to be rewarding. You're bossing up, you're leveling up, you're nurturing the things that mean something to you. In regards to relationships, you may be coming across somebody, and this could be a partnership in business too, where where you've made changes to, or are in the middle of making changes to the way you do things. So business, work, whatever whatever it is that you do, where you are understanding what did not work and where you're headed. So moving forward, you may be coming across like-minded individuals that are changing their game plan, changing the aspects of what they do and how they do it and what they're nurturing and how they do what they do. So through that, the financial aspect of this is that it is up-leveling. For those of you in regards to relationship matters, if you find that resonates in that category for you, you're meeting somebody who is understanding and empathetic to your situation. They have been through the dark. They have been through the depths of hell. They understand where your energy is coming from and why you are where you are. And it's like there's a balancing of understanding both sides of the story, that it's almost uncomfortable feeling the way this comes across. It's almost uncomfortable in the sense that it's not quite as you pictured your person or situation to be. So you may have to adjust your attitude to move forward with this. But it's weird because in the same space, it feels really good to you in a lot of ways. So you may be, I don't even know why, like I don't have any wands on the table whatsoever, but you may be dealing with a fellow Aries is what Spirit is saying. So Scorpio, Aries, very prominent in this for me, for you guys. And Aries, may be dealing with yourself. This may be something that you're coming to a culmination of understanding yourself, of how you do independent, of how you do it on your own, of how you can nurture yourself and boss up and do what you need to do. You've got the Nine of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, or excuse me, the Knight of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles. So if you're working on a common goal for yourself that is offering you stability, you may be throwing yourself into business rather than relationships at this time. You may be throwing yourself into work. You may be throwing yourself into making your home space feel good and reinvesting into the things that give you luxury and support within your home space as well. So very interesting energy. So what I want to know, because I'm going to be nosy right now, I'm going to be the nosy Scorpio that I am. What is this missing piece for you guys? Like, what is it that you gotta address? We're gonna switch it up here. What is it for Aries? Spirit, what does Aries need to do? What does Aries need to work on? Sounds right now. Don't get out of touch with your emotions, even if it is uncomfortable. I think that that's very important as well. You may try to put an end to feelings because you don't want to have to feel certain aspects too. So just be cautious with that. What does Aries? What is the missing piece for Aries? You're going to have to learn how to work together again with other people. And not saying that you don't, but it's like, this year I think is going to be a lot about learning how to take in support from others. So just because that person in your life, whether it's business, romance, whatever, things aren't quite the way you picture them, you've got to let go of that expectation. And again, I'm going to repeat, you're almost there. So what does Aries got to do, Spirit? What does Aries got to do? What does Aries got to do to get through that 9? Drop your defenses. You've got to drop your defenses. There's a fear here. There's absolutely a fear. You've got hostilities, deceit, attachment, financial constraints. Like, I think you're very much remembering a past for all the things that you endured. And it was like it seems like it always set you back. And so you're carrying that forward, remembering. It's really a remembrance of what There's that community card, that 3 again, of how things didn't work. So it's like, you know, the sooner you heal these aspects, you can get through it. Your strength and courage is taking you to where you are. You've learned very valuable lessons moving forward, you know, from the past, from those past situations that you're trying to move out of. And there's that motion again, action, Angel of Love, opening the heart space, that King of Cups. Like, allow yourself, you're coming out of the dark. And like I said, you may be dealing with somebody that understands that darkness, and they too are seeking the light. And that's really how that feels. So don't judge, you know, if they're not, I don't know, girls, guys, them, they, whatever you identify with. If he's not 6 foot tall, blue or green eyes with this expectation of this is the way this is supposed to be, drop that expectation. It's not about the external, it's about what's internal, how your soul speaks to another person. Guys, if she's not Barbie, so what? So what? We all have flaws. If this is business, maybe their ideas are very different than yours. Maybe you need to change things up. Maybe you need to take forward action to do something different than you've done before, because if you've done it before and it didn't work, don't do it again, right? Like, learn the lessons that go with it. So it's really a need to understand that through this, you are learning. You've got the Sun in Love. You've got the 9 of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles. Guys, whatever you're doing, understand that the past is the past. And yes, you will go through a stage of healing now, and in 6 months from now, you may find that there's a whole other stage of healing that you're going to need to go through. And as you go through these transformations, as you're changing, as you're making this movement forward, excuse me, you're going to have to be a little more flexible in the plans that you're making moving forward. But I don't think that any of this is bad, because if you're having soul growth in the midst of this, you're doing exactly what you need to do. So, okay, Aries, let's get a card of advice for you. You're stepping into a place that feels good. You just have to release. You really just have to finish releasing that past energy. Not tying the future to that past. You want to get out of that space of the past, because for so long as you're sitting in it, you know, if you're giving attention to it, you're going to call it back in. So it's up to you to decide, like, are you going to resolve the feelings of the past so that you can move forward into something new? And I just feel the need to reiterate to you, do not tie your expectation to a certain type of business, person, whatever this is for you. Those 2 levels seem to stick out the most, or those 2 aspects seem to stick out the most. All right, advice for Aries, please, Spirit. Telepathy. All right. Aries, please. I'm gonna have, too many. You guys are almost like you're holding back. Like this, it's just funny the way the cards are shuffling out. It's almost like you're holding back. You're holding yourself back. There may be something in you that that wants you to push forward. And you know this, but you're a little reserved in how you're approaching certain, not all situations, but certain situations. We've got the Ivory Wish Fulfilling Crow. I don't know that I've ever seen this card come out of this deck. So with that, it's kind of like you're looking back at the past with anger. So if you're dealing with a situation from the past, whether it was business, relationships, blah, 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 whatever, right? It's I almost feel like you're turning around and like giving it the middle finger kind of thing, whatever frustrations live in the past for you, it's time to no longer address those. But I also feel like that someone may be coming in for some of you and triggering you just a little bit, just enough, that is requiring you to heal. It's requiring you to see things differently. For some of you, I don't feel like this person's going to be around for a long period of time. They may already, I feel like they're already in your existence. You're facing that situation, or that's where these ideas of this expectation may be coming in, and you're feeling a little bit disappointed in certain situations, but understand that it's going to change, because there's somebody else, there's something else coming in that is going to give you stability. But it's like, for so long as you change your foresight as to how you're seeing this happen, again, dropping that expectation. It's very interesting energy. Everybody's had a lot of air energy, a lot of movement energy, a lot of change. Your 3 cards that are sitting up front and center here are all birds. I think it was Libra's reading. You might be identifying with a Libra too at this time. Libra had a lot of air in their reading, I think it was. All right, let's get you the book definition of this, and then we're gonna wrap this up. It's not bad, Aries. I like it. Okay, here you go. I said what? You were living in a space of fear. This is fear of the past, right? So here we go. You can have what you truly want. Such knowledge helps soften and release fear, grasping, control, and doubt. Have confidence that the universe hears your prayers and is even now leading you into what you seek. You can take sanctuary within your spiritual connection whenever you need stabilization and protection against the fluctuations of the external world. No matter what is happening around you, there is a way through to the fulfillment of your potential. Yeah, and I'm terrible with pronunciation sometimes. Busanda, I don't know that that's right, is the mysterious Hindu sage who assumes the form of a crow and lives atop the magical wish-fulfilling tree, thriving whether there be a feast or famine in the world. As a highly evolved supernatural being, he has outlived the ending of numerous world ages. No calamity or cataclysm can shake the powerful divine tree or the creatures who live within its shelter. The sacred tree is a place of sanctuary and protection where no harm can befall any of its inhabitants. The wish-fulfilling tree is a spiritual symbol for the soul, the heart, and the divine bodhisattvas, or enlightened sages who guide and protect humanity. It represents a high level of consciousness which is abundant and in harmony with the universe, and therefore blissful, free, and generous. This oracle reminds you that as you align with spirit, you are aligning with a powerful field of grace, which has protective and strengthening qualities. It is a spiritual tonic with effect in all dimensions and all realms of existence. The price for such sacred empowerment is the surrender of one's ego. This is a lifelong journey for most of us, rather than a one-time event. We recondition our mind in the ways of spirit again and again. We disentangle our hearts from societal conditioning based in fear, dominance, greed, victimization of getting one's personal desires met at any cost. We recognize there is a profound difference between taking and receiving. We trust in what is destined for us. Stories abound in the Hindu tradition of various wish-fulfilling manifestations, from goddesses to trees to cows and gems. When someone sought to possess the wish-fulfilling treasure for their own personal use, they would always be thwarted by the higher spiritual intelligence of love, which cannot be controlled or manipulated, but remains as it is, pure and generously giving all that it is needed to the receptive heart. Ivory is an organic material, like bone, which makes up the tusk and teeth of numerous animals of land and sea. Tusks are used to brush away vegetation and obstacles to help an animal move through its environment. Therefore, one metaphysical correspondence of ivory is the ability to move through even inhospitable environments successfully. The message of the ivory wish-fulfilling crow is one that does not have to dominate or manipulate others to attain success. It is enough to align with spirit and trust that your sacred inner work is sufficient to attract whatever is needed to manifest your higher purpose. You can attain what you seek by becoming and radiating rather than through contriving or manipulating. Bahastas teaches that when the cosmic fire of transformation becomes too intense, we can focus upon the sacred waters. When the winds of change blow ferociously, we focus upon the mountain. When the waters become such that we fear becoming submerged, it is best to focus upon the movement of the air. Air energy, right? He is describing the way of responsiveness and balance. You can recognize what is happening and adjust your sails to suit the winds rather than trying to change the ways of nature. This oracle guides you to trust that you will reach your destination even when there are forces beyond your control. You don't need to be more powerful than the oppressive forces to overcome them. In connection with your heart temple of spirit, you will be empowered to proceed on your path of abundance, wisdom, and joy. I think the end paragraph there sums up the reading in itself, and I think it's very important to understand that. Our ego is what sits within us that wants us to control and hold these expectations. So releasing and surrendering that is going to be a very large part of your ability to move forward through these situations that you're going through at this time. So again, got some Capricorn here. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Scorpio sticks out pretty significantly. Aries, you're in your own reading. But those I would say would be the main signs of who you might be dealing with. Doesn't mean that you are, right? Doesn't mean that that's the case, but allow yourselves to open up to new possibilities without taking the fear of the past, present, or past into the future. I will be so happy when Mercury retrograde is done, because I am tired of like fumbling at my words. So, all right, Aries, if you found this video resonated for you, like, subscribe, share, comment. Appreciate all of your love and support as always. Sorry that it took me so long to get back to you guys. I'm trying to get everybody taken care of. And again, remember, this is not a one-on-one personal reading. This is a collective reading. So if you are interested in a personal reading, you may find the email in the About section of the page and the description box below. And we can always get that done for you. So guys, I'm wishing you the very best today. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon and on the next one. Thanks.